Hi, my name is Carson Overwood here with the Vroom Vlog, and we have Dan Bullis with us today, multi-time national trophy winner, and also the solo director for Oregon Region. And so, how you doing today, Dan?
Doing good. It's after a long wet winter. It's good to be here in Cali. We got some sun, some 80-degree weather. So you know what? It's a good break from that Northwest right now.
I agree. I agree. The weather could not be better. But yeah, speaking of the Crows Landing and the nice weather, what do you like about Crows aside from just the weather?
Well, Crows gives, especially us in the Northwest, a unique opportunity to get some practice on concrete. Back at Lincoln at the national event, um, it is all concrete. We don't have any facilities in the Pacific Northwest to where we can actually get that kind of experience. Concrete poses a lot of challenges for us from the Northwest because of the fact that it gives so much more grip to where most of us aren't used to that. So Crows being so close to home gives us a good opportunity to get down here. The concrete here is very grippy, which you found out today.
Yeah.
It's a big change from running at Packwood and running at PIR and other venues in the Northwest. So just the fact that there's so much grip and you can carry so much speed, it's fantastic down here. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I definitely noticed that out on the test and tune course here today. But any advice for somebody who's coming to Crows, say for the first time from Oregon Region or the Northwest, um, aside from maybe underdriving the car on concrete or something along those lines?
um, big thing down here is speed maintenance because you can carry so much more speed. You really have to back off on your braking inputs. A lot of people will try to overbrake. Here you can carry so much speed to where you don't need to be on the brake nearly as much. You can carry that momentum a lot easier than you can up in Packwood. At Packwood, you really have to be careful about trying to maintain. Here, you just need to keep it pushing. So you have to push that limit all the time to make sure you're using all that grip that's available. So that's just something we're not used to.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. It was a different experience driving that test and tune course today, and had to get the car dialed in a little bit for that. But I know we jumped right into Crows right away, but I was also curious how you got into autocross, or what first sparked your interest in that.
Well, I actually started racing go-karts when I was 7 up in, well, a place called Pat's Acres out in Cami, Oregon. Raced go-karts for about 3 or 4 years, then got out of it. I got into instructing with Porsche Club, a lot of the local car club stuff, back in about 2001. So I've been instructing at PIR for about 17 years now. Never thought I'd want to get into autocross. Always wanted to do road racing. I like the competition. I like being door to door. The thought process of setting somebody up for going through corners and to make that pass. Never thought I'd get into autocross. I bought a 2004 Volkswagen R32, fantastic car,
Nice.
and came out to my first event, and I was instantly hooked.
Yeah.
Autocross gives so many more. The subtleties to autocross are so much more in depth than they are with road racing.
Hmm.
You are on the edge of your seat from the second that light turns green for what we're doing this weekend at the Pro, or just a regular autocross event. You have no time to breathe. There's times I come back from a run and I realize, oh, I haven't taken a breath yet.
Right. Right.
Road racing, you have time to breathe. You have time to think about what's going on. Autocross, you have 3 chances. You don't get a walk. You don't get to run the course. You have to be on your A game right out of the box. And I love that challenge. I love everything that comes along with that, as far as the pressure, the camaraderie, and just the sheer fun and excitement that brings. So
Yeah.
I fell in love with autocross, and here I am, on my 8th year running full time and solo director. So it's fun, it's challenging. I get to hang out with good people like you and your dad, and yeah, I mean we're a big family. So it's just I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I had a similar experience when I first got into performance driving, you could say, looking for a Miata with a roll bar in it, with the goal of spec Miata eventually. and eventually pulled the roll bar out of it to save some weight for autocross after after you realize how great of competition you have in this venue. And
I remember you showing up to that first event with the roll bar in, yeah. And that's, I think a lot of people overlook autocross for that sheer fact. Everybody goes right to road racing. When you talk about autocross, a lot of people don't have a clue of what really it is.
Right.
They have a general idea. They hear rallycross and stuff like that, so they have this kind of skewed vision of what it actually is.
Sure.
And when they come out to the event, it's kind of eye-opening. It's so much more intense. It's so much more fun. It's not just like, ooh, 20 seconds on the course and that was it. No, you're on the edge of your seat. You're sweating. When I come in from fast runs, I'm shaking.
Right.
I mean, you have a little quiver to you because the adrenaline is flowing. You nailed every section of the course. And like I said, a lot of people they don't realize that until they actually come out and give it a shot. So.
Right. And on that note, what would you say to somebody who's maybe sitting at home right now, never done an autocross and kind of thinking about it, thinking they might like it, but not sure if they have the right car for it or if they have the right mods or if it may be too intimidating or something like that. But just any advice for somebody along those lines?
Just do it.
Just do it.
It doesn't matter what kind of car you have. We have cars of every shape and size. It doesn't matter what kind of modifications you have. Your first step is to come out. Come out and try it.
Right.
And I guarantee you're going to get hooked. We put on novice classes throughout the year here in Oregon region. We also have a information blog that we have on our main website, Oregon Region SCCA. It's called Looking Ahead. That is geared towards people that are newer to the sport to kind of give them some direction. But the best advice you can is just come out and have fun. One of the best things about especially our region is we are a big family. We go to Packwood. We are all barbecuing together. We're having dinner together. There is a camaraderie because we're all nuts. I mean, we all spend how much money on cars?
Yeah.
I grew up playing with Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still playing with cars. I will to the day I die. So you can't ask for more fun.
That's cool. And let's see here. Along the lines of cars, I wanted to say, you mentioned was it your first car you got into the sport with, and of course you're driving the Corvette right now, for Sense Performance, but how many cars have you driven along the way in autocross? Can you go through those a little bit?
Oh, well, I ran the R32 was the first car I got into autocross with. I ran that in D Street and then in STX trim. Morris Green, one of our local racers, has a extremely well prepped STR Miata that I was able to win a tour in and a local championship for STR. Z06 with Ryan Otis. I've played around with Dennis Healy. He has had numerous cars, and I think I've driven just about every one of them except for his new Mustang. If there's a car, I'm going to hop in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I help a lot of folks out like yourself with instructing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to hop in a lot of different cars to try them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to have somebody fast in your car so you can see what the car is actually capable of. Because a lot of people think they're at that 10/10ths limit.
Right.
And when a experienced racer like Ryan Otis or James Paulson or myself, when one of us hops in the car, it's kind of eye-opening when you see you just went a second and a half faster than my car, or than I did in my car.
Right.
So it's always good to have somebody fast in your car. And like I said, when you're instructing, it's just one of the perks because, it's fun. It's just a blast. But to get back to the cars, see, I wander.
Yeah, no problem.
So like I said, Corvettes, Miatas. I played with an RX-8 for a little while. I've been in a couple of Minis. Miatas, like I said, we're running 99 C5 Corvettes here with Sense Performance, which are fantastic, and I love it. But I'll tell you what, a fully prepared STR Miata.
Yeah.
There's something it's just music about those cars.
Right.
So, and the NDs are even better. I finally got to drive an ND here a couple weeks ago.
Really? Okay.
It was a stock one, so in C Street Prep, but even in C Street Prep, it was fantastic. So, when you're 6'2" and good size, sometimes you find it a little hard to fit in some of those smaller cars. I can barely even fit in the Corvette. So,
right.
Yeah, like I said, if it's got wheels, I'll drive it or ride it. I used to drag race motorcycles, so I said if it's got wheels, I'll find a way to get on it.
Right on. Yeah, I heard somebody say that just as far as handling, that Corvettes are kind of just like big fat Miatas. But are they stable, or how do you like that car so far?
I co-drove with Ryan Otis in his Z06 a few years ago, and did okay in the car. Didn't feel like it meshed with my driving style. I am very much a momentum driver. I like to carry speed. That's my main focus when I'm behind the wheel, is carrying as much speed as many places on the course as I can. And me and the car just didn't fit. The Corvette, especially the Z06, takes a certain attitude that you need to have when you're behind the wheel.
Okay.
Last year when I hopped in the Sins Performance C5, something felt different in it.
Right.
I got in it. I was fast right out of the gate, which was fantastic. Eric and the guys at the shop have done such a good job putting the car together that the car handles so neutral. You can pitch the rear end, and it will place wherever you need it to be. It will stay in that place, and you can carry that thing with a yaw through any corner you need. It is the braking thing. The braking power is another thing about the Corvettes that is just phenomenal. You get on the brakes, and one of the worst things about the cars is the seats. As everybody knows, it's driven in a Corvette.
Yeah.
They are horrible. But the braking is so good, that passenger seat scares you because thing almost goes forward and hits the dash.
Really?
So that passenger seat is going back and forth. But because the braking is just fantastic. That's one of the things that shocks most people when they first get in the car.
That is what shocked me when I rode with you last year in Packwood, was just the brakes on that thing. It felt like it could stop on a dime.
Yeah, I mean, for a car that's that big, you touch the brakes and you will come to a stop really fast. Something that you don't get a lot of in the Miatas.
Right.
So,
yeah, you got to keep up that minimum speed.
Yes, yes you do.
So yeah, it sounds like, I mean, you definitely have an extensive history with the cars, and oh yeah, good idea. Thanks, man. You've driven a lot of cars, but say just ideally, if you could drive any car or run any car, what would you do?
Well, my dream car has always been a Saleen S7. I know they're not the best handling cars, but my God, are they sexy. So an S7 is kind of my ultimate car. As far as competition goes,
yeah, what class would that be in?
you know what? I wouldn't even think of what class. Probably SM, SSM for autocross.
Right.
I couldn't even imagine what class. I doubt we'll ever see one on an autocross course, which is probably a good thing for that car.
Yeah.
As far as competition goes, I mean, there's such a long list. I mean, when you look at BMW, the product that they have, the M1s, the M2s the M2 is going to be a fun car to beat this year in class. The new Focus RS, those cars are fantastic right out of the gate. I come from a little bit of a Volkswagen background, so the Golf Rs.
Yeah.
Granted, the Golf Rs, I'm a purist. I love torque. I love sound. So the 04 and the 08 R32s are still have a place in my heart, just because the R32 has one of the sweetest notes of any vehicles, car on there.
Yeah, they do sound good. So, what was I going to say? As far as learning, you've been doing this for some time, but did you ever have any aha moments where you just had like a major breakthrough, or any learning experiences that really helped you take your game to the next level?
I was autocrossing with Jerry Jenkins, who is what we in autocross call, he's an alien.
Right.
He can get in any car, and he is immediately one of the fastest you're going to find. I co-drove with him 1 year down in Wendover, which is a national tour site that we used to run at in Utah. And co-driving with him in his NA Miata, I couldn't fit in the car. I couldn't actually, my hands, I could not clear my knees
Yeah.
when I went to turn.
I have that problem. I bruise my knees every time I drive the Miata.
Yes. So, and I'm a little bit bigger than you.
All right.
But riding with him and comparing data, he really helped me progress as far as I've always been a momentum driver, but he really opened up another level for that for me. And it's really helped me establish, because now it's good to help guys like yourself that are in momentum cars. I had Rio Rios, who is, I think you had him on your blog.
Yeah, he was on the last interview.
Yeah, I actually helped him here a couple weeks ago with some stuff. And there's a certain aspect when you're a momentum guy,
right,
that when that light bulb clicks and you realize that I don't need to touch the brakes. I don't really need to slow down for this.
Exactly.
It's that maintaining the speed instead of on and off, that when that really clicks, that you don't need that throttle to be full on or full off. As long as you're consistent, that's that big aha moment that momentum guys really have, and I got that
right.
when I co-drove with Jerry. So
excellent. Feathering the throttle through certain features and coming
all
off the
about
brakes a little earlier than you would feel comfortable with normally.
Yep, all about that speed maintenance. Like I said, too many guys get sucked into I either have to be on or off the throttle. And
right.
It's not that. A lot of the times it's just holding the throttle consistent, because you don't want to upset the car. The more you're on and off the gas, the more the car is trying to catch up with what you're doing. So when you are consistent with the car is a lot more predictable, because it's not trying to figure out what you're doing. It's on the same page with you. So that's something that I always work on with students, is trying to make sure that them and the car are always on that same page.
That's awesome. No, I think we've got some great nuggets from this and good advice, definitely. But as we kind of wrap it up here, just curious, if you have anything you'd like to say for viewers of the vlog, and of course our Oregon region people as well that may potentially come out and drive at PIR or Packwood.
Biggest thing is make sure you have fun. Don't get caught up with being competitive. Come out, be competitive with yourself. Always try to improve. And the biggest thing is take everything everybody says with a grain of salt. Everybody's different.
Right.
My driving style and the way I am in the car is completely different than 99% of the people out there. All of the times I don't even walk the course. It's just the way my mind works. And people get caught up. Well, so-and-so said I have to do this. Don't worry about what people say you have to do. Figure out what works for you and do that. Take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, but don't get caught up with that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Find out what works for you and have fun with it.
Awesome. And actually, one last thing, we should mention that it is just Friday here in Crow's Landing, so we haven't done any of the competition runs yet today. That'll start tomorrow. And do you have any specific strategy as you go into a Saturday as opposed to, of course, the big day is usually on Sunday?
With a Pro, which is the format that we're running this weekend, a lot of people may not be familiar with the Pro Solo format.
Thank you.
Pro Solo formats, it's kind of like a drag race. You have two identical courses side by side. A Christmas tree, like a drag race start, comes down. You go out, you run one side, you come immediately back and run the other side. You get 4 runs on Saturday and 2 more runs on Sunday. A lot of people get caught up on trying to go so fast on Saturday. You always have those 2 Sunday runs in the bank. This year back at Nationals, I was lucky enough to win the pro finale back there.
That's awesome.
The guys that I was talking to, I was sitting third or fourth after day 1. No, I was sitting fifth. I'm sorry. I was sitting fifth after day 1.
Okay.
And from talking to guys from other regions, most of them were saying, yeah, we don't pick up a lot of time on day 2. In the Northwest, That's all we do is pick up time on day 2.
Gotcha.
Sunday morning is down and dirty time.
Right,
It
right.
does not matter what you did Saturday. Saturday is just practice. Sunday's when it matters. And none of those guys picked up time in the afternoon or in the morning on Sunday. I was able to pick up a bunch of time. So, again, this weekend, it's all about getting familiar with the course. First-timers like yourself down here, getting familiar with the grip.
Right.
Getting familiar with the grip and where you can push the car. So go out there, set down a couple of good runs, make sure you're consistent with your lights, make sure you're consistent with your 60-foot times, and then just try to put those 2 good runs together, one on each side.
Excellent, excellent. That's great pro solo insight there. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, Dan. And I should say definitely good luck out there tomorrow and especially Sunday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Good luck to yourself. And if you have not been keeping up, you need to follow this guy because he's going to have a national championship jacket soon. So keep up with Carson. So thanks.
We'll work on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.